Let's take a look what we got here. Because I've seen a little bit of this before, but I haven't seen everything. So the Skyriders, okay. We don't have my mouse captured. That's fine. So it looks like, yeah, let's properly overanalyze the shit out of this. So we can see a couple things. We can see the med techs in the back, right? That was the unit that was revealed on, I want to say Tuesday. No. Wednesday of this week. It was it Loco? Yeah, it was Loco's tweet that had it. And that's a healing unit. We can kind of see that clearly. But what I am really curious about, and we can see the med techs healing the mechs as well. So it seems like it's healing the Vulcans, which is interesting, right? Normally you'd heal mechanical units or infantry units, but it seems like it probably can do both. Yeah, their website has yes. We had that last year with the PC gaming show as well, where Stormgate's Nexus or site went totally down. But anyway, so seems like they're healing both. What are these Skyriders doing? Let's see if we can figure that out. So we see the Atlas shots going in. There's damage over time in the area afterwards. But what are these? So the Skyriders are shooting, but they're not doing anything. I wonder whether that kind of healing aura is from the med techs. It seems like it's from the med techs. I'm not sure. Let's go forward a little bit. All right, so moving forward, that mineral, by the way, I've been told that that's a placeholder, but it does seem like they will centralize on one kind of gold thing and then one advanced mining thing. And by the way, check out those resources. Let me turn my webcam off. Take a look at on the upper left. You see workers 0 to 4. That's the second resource. It's called something that I want to say it's called Therium, right? That's what we got from the release yesterday, or from the summit that I was able to talk about. And that's actually really cool because I think I can talk about this. Pretty sure I can talk about this. So the Therium, and because I have a fact sheet. Before we go into that, let me read the thing that says what I can talk about, what I can't. Yes, it's live, so I can talk about it. Excellent. We have a fact sheet. The Lumite is the gold the gold minerals that we see, that kind of main gold mining base, which it pays for nearly everything. The workers are called mobs apparently, but the Therium is this kind of gray and glowing green polyhedron. But that's cool because it's like gas, right? It pays for advanced things, but it gradually spreads out and enriches when it's not being mined, but you can mine it out. So you can mine it's a dynamic resource. It ebbs and flows on the map, and it's going to show up in a couple different ways. So there are going to be exposed patches like in your main base, but also underground veins that you have to pop open. And that's really cool. So I am so excited to see kind of the math on how to properly mine Therium and how to make that happen. Do you want to let it sit and enrich, or because it can temporarily deplete, maybe permanently deplete? I'm not totally sure. But oh wait, I'm wrong window. Let me interact. There we go. And also do point out, right, multiple workers can build things. Multiple bobs, as they're calling them. I don't know what BOB stands for. Also, the scout goes in, and again, these are robo-dogs. But the thing is, or they kind of look like robo-dogs, but the thing is they have that cripple mechanism. So that means they can slow things down. It does seem they are repairable. So again, assuming that these are robotic doggies. Yeah, it's called a scout. S.C.O.U.T. These robot dogs with freaking laser eyes, by the way, that's the official language. They have freaking laser eyes, have heightened senses that can identify the presence of enemies, even concealed by a fog of war. And if they howl, they do something. They have an activatable ability. They can temporarily see further, including through light forest, which is really cool, actually. Builder of buildings, yeah, that makes sense. Inflatable Wolfie. But keeping scouts in your woods so you can be, I guess, forewarned of harassment. That seems that seems smart. Or more importantly, using the scout to push through. So you're getting ready to go harass, and you want to drop a scout. You drop a howl so you can see, okay, what's on the other side? Is there defense there? Which seems a lot of fun, and we're gonna skip through things a little bit so we can see the light forest, which I think is really exciting, actually. So you got to point out here the mobs, of course, multiples of them can work together. It does seem like structures are very tanky, and we do have to point out that obviously time to kill here is lower than it is in StarCraft. They're aiming for something between like Warcraft 3 and StarCraft 2, which is, or like Brood War and StarCraft 2 maybe, which I think is fine. It gives you more time to micro here as the Vulcans pop out. Notice the cone, they're shredding the light units. But the dash or the, okay, let me take a look at here. So if you want to dash forward like we saw later, that is an upgrade. You don't get that by default. And it stuns and it can clear out trees. Yeah, and everything looks super clear too. I think there are some maybe some issues. I mean, I have it up here, Ophians. I'm not super worried about it. There are whatchamacallit. Talk about this in a second. Where was I going with this? I was excited about something. Yeah, so the dashing and that stunning ability, the ability to go for trees is something that does get unlocked. I'm assuming through the machine lab. So it seems like Biokinetics lab is for infantry, such as Lancer shields, things like that. Lancers will get the shields on an upgrade, by the way, that damage soaking. It's not basic. And machine lab is research upgrades for mechanical and air units. So I assume that's where the mech dash comes in. Not totally sure, but that's kind of how I'm reading it. We also have creeps, and we have can I talk about that? What I know about them? No. Does not appear to be the case. So for now, creeps that are placeholder chickens with Viking helmets, and I'm a big fan. The concept of how they want to do it, or how they're going to treat it later on, is something that we don't know, but we can see that you do go, and is this better than what I'm... Oh, okay, it's the gameplay reveal without the Day 9 stuff. Oh! We have TL... Okay, wait, we have TLO going over things. Never mind, we're gonna take a look at this. Thank you, Sinbug. Or Sind. Extra... So, okay, we're just gonna watch this, and then we're gonna figure it out.
Hi guys, this is TLO.
TLO!
Obviously played RTS my entire life, so it's been a real privilege for me to be one of the first people to try out Stormgate. Really stoked about this match against Kevin. Think I'm gonna do some light harass in the early game and then just try to overwhelm him with a massive amount of macro.
By the way, the soundtrack. Big fan of what they're doing with the soundtrack. There are a bunch of tracks that we haven't heard yet, and it sounds so, or in this trailer, and it's so good.
Hi, my name is Kevin Monk Dong, and I work on gameplay and balance on Stormgate. Today, I'll be trying a fast expansion build, and then I'll try to tech to higher tier units to defend whatever TLO throws at me.
Okay, so he overcharges them. Notice that. I don't know how effective. I don't know quite what it does, but there is that overcharge ability.
He did a lot of worker damage there, so I'm at a pretty bad economic disadvantage. I'm gonna have to try some really sneaky tactics, maybe getting an upgrade TLO isn't familiar with, perhaps maybe even luckily creepjacking him.
50 minerals or 50 primary resource doesn't seem like a lot for creep. I don't, but it's gonna be interesting to see how expensive things are. Oh, he's dodging the Atlas. Oh, look at that.
Looking forward to hopefully dealing the finishing blow against Kevin here. I'll attack again from the right side through the light trees, but this time we'll bring in a larger force from the left side as well. And I think I'll be able to out-micro him here. He has a more static mech army, I believe, and my bio unit should be able to touch all the tech shots, get in there, and have a pretty smooth path of attack here.
All right, so is that the total? Yes, that is. I have this sheet. What is the Skyrider? Does it say anything? Featured here. My fact sheet doesn't tell me. My fact sheet doesn't tell me anything about the Skyrider. Very disappointed in this. Do I know how much creep they want there to be? More or less than Warcraft 3? I do. So I don't see anything on the fact sheet, so I don't know how much I can say. Creeps will be different than in a Warcraft. I think in some very substantive ways. I think the big one is we're not necessarily going to have heroes in 1v1. I don't think. I think they're moving away from that. So creeps to get items is not there. Let's go back and take a look at this. So we got a couple shots. That's not what I wanted to do. We got a couple shots at the beginning here, and I still don't know what these Skyriders do. They clearly do anti-ground and anti-air shots, very low damage. And with the energy bars, we can assume they do something. I don't quite know what it is. By the way, what is creeping for then? Well, Sin, we can see from the video. Where is it? Like right here? We can see from the video that killing the chicken gave 50. What is it called? I actually have a name now. Gave 50 Illuminite, which is the primary resource. So I don't know what it's going to do more than that. I know they're experimenting with things, but it gives you 50 Illuminite, and it, I assume, gives you maybe some map control or something. Certainly, I don't know. Is 50 Illuminite? Is that one bob? I don't know. I don't know how expensive things are. Inflatable Wolfie, there was definitely some pickup micro. Where is it? Yeah, right. So dodging the, so by the way, these Atlas can be picked up by the evacs, but we see they are very, in fact, they might even be a little too dodgeable. We saw it just seems like the exos, which are the gunners, the Marines, are fast enough to just kind of run right on through and be fine. So either maybe the shot goes a little bit too slow, or you body block for it. Although we do know that the Atlas shots, of course, will do friendly fire. And by the way, these Atlas have gotten some sort of upgrade. I don't know that they have a name for it yet, but that does the damage over time lingering. So it's not just the impact damage, it's that damage over time as well. So we can see the Skyriders, they're shooting at the evac, and they're not being microed at all. But the turrets, they do anti-air. Okay. I do want to point out that I think there's still some work to do in terms of visibility on the units, but it's not that bad. Certainly for a pre-alpha, and when we look at the assets as they are, it's pretty understandable. I think maybe the Atlas shots they occlude things a little bit too much, but again, for the state that we are, they were doing a pretty bang up job. Yeah, they can go through trees. It's the coolest thing. So let's go back a little bit. Actually, they showcased this at the very beginning. Where am I? That's where I want to go. So these are light trees. They're not everywhere, but with light trees, small units can run through them. So like Lancers, Exos, and Scouts and things. But bigger unit, like a Vulcan naturally, or an Atlas or something, cannot walk through. So it's this really interesting attack pattern. That's what I was talking about. Using the Scouts, they have an ability that allows them to see through trees. They howl. But of course, Vulcans, if they want to get through, they can just dash right on through. And that, oh man, and that's that's a decision you have to make, because I I don't know if the trees regrow. Yeah, it does telegraph pretty hard. But again, if you can body block, or there's some, maybe not a fungal, but there's some sort of other like positional control ability. Maybe that, I mean, that could be a good way to pair it. I really, it's going to be interesting to see, because we know they don't have tier 3 units. They're not, I don't know if they're designed yet, but they're not implemented yet. Yeah, I mean, Inflatable Wolfie, we didn't see super flashy micro. We saw the dash through to clear off the creep camp. We saw this right here where we see TLO microing against the Atlas, both putting Marines away and picking up a couple to mass dodge. Things like that, kind of hot dropping on top. So we see there the Marine does dodge. But again, this is human versus human. This is new. But yeah, okay, so this is I'm really curious to see if the trees are going to be able to regrow or not. Because again, otherwise, interesting tactical decision. Do you want to open up that attack path a little bit easier for more powerful units? But the one thing I'm lacking, so we do see the overcharge on the Bobs, and the description let me pull that back up. The description I have is that the command post can trigger an overcharge on nearby Bob units, temporarily diverting power to combat systems. So they can attack. Okay, that's what, or I don't know if they can attack by default, but they can certainly, what's the word? They can certainly attack when that overcharge happens. Yeah, the artillery arc is very slow. Yeah, and oh, by the way, Grubby has played this game. Obviously not here, but he played from the Netherlands, playing Monk in California, and he was saying it felt super responsive. He said that on stream yesterday. So that's the good news. The thing we've been waiting on is Neuro has said, yeah, it feels responsive in person, but we haven't had any server tests. Nothing of the rollback netcode, nothing like that, at least publicly available to us. So Netherlands to California and feeling really good and responsive. Yeah, solid netcode is really exciting here as well. But that's going to be the YouTube video. If you want to find more Stormgate coverage, of course, make sure to follow this channel and check out Stormgate Nexus, because there's a lot more coverage on the way. And I stream on Twitch too, twitch.tv/BeowulfMolf.